Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on demand care for common ailments such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org. From Boundary to Bear Lake, Fremont to Payette, Oahe to Oneida, there are interesting people, places, and histories in all of Idaho's counties. And Idaho Matters wants to share it with you with stories from all 44 counties that make up the Gem State. Email your ideas to idahomatters@boisestate.edu or use the Talk to Us feature in our app, available on Apple and Android, and tune in each weekday at noon for Idaho Matters. From the studios of Boise State Public Radio News, I'm Gemma Gaudette. You're listening to Idaho Matters. Conversations with Exceptional Women will be celebrating its 14th year later this month as the Alturas Institute hosts of Women, Dignity, and Democracy. And one of the featured panelists is Boise-born and raised lawyer turned actress, Marie Weatherall. And we're lucky enough to have Marie joining us today to talk more. Marie, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So, Marie, tell us a little bit about yourself. As I mentioned, a lawyer turned actress. You don't hear about that very often.
No, you don't. I sort of had an unconventional route to the acting field. But when I was in law school at the University of Idaho, I sort of had this epiphany moment during an oral argument that what I really wanted to be doing was acting. So immediately upon graduation, I enrolled in acting classes and started this journey.
So talk to us a little bit about that epiphany moment, right? I mean, how do you go from, truly saying like, I thought I wanted to be an attorney, and you come from a long line of attorneys in your family. So this is a switch.
I do, yeah, from both sides actually. But I realized that I had been chasing careers based on strong female characters in movies that I saw. Um, for example, let's see, Jessica Chastain's performance in Zero Dark 30. There was a moment
Hmm.
there that I was really wanting to work at the UN and the CIA, clandestine services, Nicole Kidman's performance in The Interpreter. I, I had that political influence and from my family, but really I was just fascinated with these characters and I realized I could do it all. As an actress, I could be every single one of these characters that I admired.
So how then do you all of a sudden just decide, okay, I'm going to move to LA after law school and try this? What happens next?
So I went about it the smart way, I guess. I knew that if I moved to LA, there was no way I was going to just make it in a sea of actors down
Hmm.
there. So I really wanted to get the training, get the experience, build my resume, and sort of jump from regional market to bigger regional market before I made the decision, do I need to go to LA or New York?
Mm.
And honestly, COVID has really changed the game for actors. You do not really have to be based out of these larger cities anymore to get in front of casting because all auditions are now done virtually. They're all video auditions, live virtual auditions. You might have an in-person callbacks, but they're still pretty rare.
Hmm. So you ended up doing a lot of work in the Salt Lake City area, correct?
I did, yes, and I still do. I still have my agents there and I love them to death. They still give me a lot of auditions and the casting directors there are great.
So it's interesting listening to you, Marie, because you said, you the approach you took is so different than I think a lot of folks, used to do that, right? You feel like you have to be in New York or LA. And as you were talking, I was like, okay, she still has an attorney's brain. Like you're still like, and I mean that as a compliment. Like you're very analytical in your approach to making this acting career work.
I am. Thank you. Yeah, I just I wanted to do it the smart way, and I really do feel that, being prepared as much as you can is really important in this industry. It's not just about looks. This is a business.
Mm-hmm. So, talk to us too about, here you're on this trajectory, right? And as I said, you come from a prominent political and legal family on both sides. So there is a history there of really going into these fields. I think for a lot of people, I think women in particular, it can be difficult to make such a change as you did because it almost feels like there's a pressure to do more and be more because of the women who came before us who broke those glass ceilings, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, I do feel the pressure. I really want to continue my family's name and legacy, even if it's not in the political aspect or being an attorney. I still feel that responsibility in the entertainment world. I want my family name to carry respect. So I'd put that pressure on myself, and I'm very aware of it.
Hmm. What would you say to other women who, whether it's making a leap like you did from law school to acting, just really saying, you know what, I thought that I wanted to do A, but really, when I stop and think about it, my passion is B, C, or D. So,
Mhm.
what would you say to women, whether they're young women or middle life, who are struggling with something like this?
I would say, don't be afraid, try it, because you could realize maybe it isn't what you want to do, but you have to at least try. So that's what I did. I was working for my dad full time as an associate attorney, and then I sort of took a step back, was doing more paralegal work so I could go down to Salt Lake a lot and audition. And it came to a point where I was going down there maybe a couple times a week round trip, which is, an 8-hour drive for a 5-minute
Mm-hmm.
audition. And I was very honest with myself and realized that I was either going to go for it now or I wasn't. And I can always come back to the law. You can always come back to whatever it is you were doing before, but you really have to trust yourself and follow your dreams. I mean, as cliche as that is, and just give it a shot. And I did. And it's continued to work out very well for me. So you might just surprise yourself, but
Mm.
at least give yourself that opportunity.
No, I agree with you. And I even say, to younger women that I chat with, that it's like you have certain times in your life where you can take those leaps of faith, right? In
Absolutely.
particular, if you're not married yet, if you don't have children yet, right? It's kind of like do it now.
Right.
Try. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? And this is something I've said to my kids. It's like they're gonna tell you no. Well,
Right.
you're gonna hear so many no's in your life. I mean, Marie, I am assuming you've heard a lot of no's in this
A lot of
industry
no's are
since you
just
started.
absolute silence. But yeah, it doesn't, it's never bothered me. I've never seen it as a no because you just continue developing these relationships with casting, with directors, with producers. It's not a no, it's a not this project, maybe the next one.
Mm. And you have a big project coming up, I believe. What a new thriller is set to be released this fall.
I do. I've been working on a few projects. I just filmed my final scene, my final death scene last night in House of Dolls 2. So that should be coming out hopefully this fall, beginning of next year. And I was also filming an apocalyptic thriller called Run, where I am the true lead female carrying this entire film. And I'm very excited for people to see that. We have 2 more scenes to film, and then we'll be wrapped. I'm really hoping it comes out this fall. So if you follow me on social media, you'll see me posting about it a lot.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time. I know how busy your schedule is just to chat with us. And as I said earlier, you're going to be one of the featured panelists in the upcoming Alturas Institute's 14th Conversations with Exceptional Women. This year it's called Of Women, Dignity, and Democracy. It'll be August 20th and 21st. Of course, we'll be at the Yankee Center in Boise. Marie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
We've been speaking with Marie Weatherall. She is a lawyer turned actress, Boise born and raised, and she will be part of the Conversations with Exceptional Women. And that'll do it for this episode of Idaho Matters. Thanks so much for listening. And just a reminder, you can find all of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts.